Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you!
The initiation aspect of our event went well accordingly with the SMART objectives put forth prior to the event. We essentially raised a total of $900 for Northcott through all aspects of the event. We initially planned to raise $800 on ticket sales alone, through 80 people were projected to attend. However, due to unfortunate circumstances, approximately 20 people couldn't make the event. Although this meant we didn't raise as much money as first anticipated, we are still seeing our event as a success as we raised significant funds for Northcott. We also raised significant awareness for Northcott as we had a speech at the start of the event about them and what they do, as well as having posters, pamphlets and pens on each table. Additionally, we had a trivia question in one of our rounds regarding Northcott as an attempt to raise significant awareness about them. The SWOT analysis prior to the event displayed various aspects of running a trivia night, and post-event we were able to reflect on each aspect. The strengths restated proved incremental to the trivia night as the actual event proved to be a success, further highlighting how trivia night is a known and proven formula. The venue facilities proved very helpful to us in terms of convenience, as well as saving additional funds. Our weaknesses did prove detrimental at times, as there was some ambiguity within hosting the event, as we have never done anything of the sort before. The opportunities put forth of garnering interest of Northcott were met, as we feel we reached out to a lot of people on the night, and also gained a further understanding ourselves about Northcott. The potential threats that could have proven detrimental to us were luckily in our favour, as the weather panned out perfectly, as well as we were able to secure 3 sponsors for the night. For future, I would recommend making SMART objectives as achievable as possible, to the point where you are guaranteed to achieve them, and potentially even go beyond the goal you set yourself.
In regards to hosting our trivia night, the rationale between early planning and balanced coverage between myself and my fellow group members were concepts proven to be the backbone to our success on the night. In saying this, the intent to allow ourselves an adequate amount of time to plan correctly and prepare for any unexpected matters provided a consistent and timely progression between these project phases. In the weeks leading up to the event, my team and I established a specific role allocation that could be realistically met in time for the event. Some of the role allocation included securing the venue, sound systems and equipment for the day, canteen operations of food and drink supplies, decorations and prizes through sponsors. On the day of the event, all of us were involved with the setup and shutdown of the venue, as well as the hired sound guy who took responsibility in setting up the projection and sound equipment before and after. I myself was in charge of decorations, which was further brought to life with one of the team members picking up Northcott brochures, flyers and pens to add on the tables, as well as assisting Bradley in the kitchen, who was also cooking in the canteen for food and drink sales. Christian and Sam were operating the score sheets from each group throughout the night. Yusura was assisting the event with prize handling and being the middleman between us and the teams. And finally, Sam, who was the MC and conducting the trivia rounds on the night itself. For recommendations, I would recommend for future students to understand that perfection takes time and to allow a structured role allocation between group members. Early planning plays a vital role in determining the successful outcome of your event, so I would further suggest identifying the SWOT aspects to allow planning for the unexpected, as well as most importantly having fun in the whole experience.
Implementation. The second phase of the 5 project management phases is definition and planning, which includes scope and budget, risk management plan, the work breakdown structure and the Gantt chart. In the first 3 weeks of the semester, we delegated roles to each of our group members to ensure they understood how our trivia night would run. And following our presentation in week 5, we spent the next 6 weeks preparing for the trivia night to be hosted on the 18th of May. This included gaining the key to the location, purchasing food, beverages and decorations, preparing the questions and answers, such as the amount of rounds, the types of rounds, mini games, bonus rounds, filling in the event run sheet, organising the prizes from our sponsors, and also formatting and printing the answer sheets for our attendees. The Gantt chart that we created for the initial report in week 5 actually helped us to complete our tasks on time. It was very accurate. It also worked with the work breakdown structure, which provided a visual representation of the tasks at hand, which created a clarity of understanding for our group members. We spent within our forecasted budget of $600 for the rent of the location, food and beverages, and printing. And finally, our risk management plan and the completion of the event run sheet allowed us to be aware of the potential risks at hand, to put in preventative measures to ensure that they didn't occur on the night. Our event was successfully run due to the effective planning and teamwork of our team members, and I'd recommend to groups in the future to secure their location as quickly as possible to complete all tasks at hand and also ensure there's enough food and beverages to make the night fun and enjoyable. Thank you.
So our trivia night was held at the Arthur Neave Memorial Hall in Warrington on the 18th of May. Given that it's a council building, we couldn't actually access the building till 1 p.m. So we started working at 10 a.m. on the day to ensure that if any difficulties arose, we would have adequate time to deal with them in an acceptable manner. So things that we did the morning of included gathering equipment such as a whiteboard and a projector, which we borrowed, and also gathering prizes such as chocolates from Woolworths. We also used this time to print additional paper that we may have needed and to have a full run through of the event to practice the structure as well as our systems that we developed, and also to gauge the timing and duration of the event. So upon arrival at 1 p.m. to the venue itself, we began setting up the hall for the event. This included setting up tables and chairs, the projector, as well as decorating the hall, which included bits and pieces that we'd received from Northcott, such as pens and brochures and posters. In terms of setting up the sound guy that we hired I know personally, and he's actually worked with Northcott in the past. So him giving his time and equipment to this was seen as a donation on his behalf. Additionally, he's also trained in first aid and had his own first aid equipment, which was very beneficial for us. And speaking of safety, upon arrival at the venue, we did familiarise ourselves with the evacuation plan so that we could inform attendees at the commencement of the evening the steps they should take in the instance of an emergency. So we advertised the event as starting at 6:30, but we advised people to come early for the canteen, which had been organised to incorporate dinner foods, and many of the attendees had a sausage sizzle or toasted sandwich, as well as a guest in the lolly jar guessing game that we had available at the entrance. Given that we'd pre-sold tickets, we knew the amount of people that were coming, and we pushed back starting until 6:30 to ensure that everyone would make it on time, and this turned out to be a good idea. So we ran the trivia night with a break in the middle to people to have a stretch of the legs, go to the toilet, or get some food from the canteen, and then we proceeded with the structure of the trivia itself. In terms of the shutdown of the proceedings after the event, we concluded the night by announcing the prize winners for the trivia itself, as well as the lolly jar guessing game. We had a final thank you for each of our sponsors for the evening, as well as encouraging attendees to take a Northcott brochure or pen on their way out. We thanked everyone for attending the event and encouraged them to stay around to chat or look at their score or buy some final food from the canteen, as well as wishing them safe travels home. We then began packing up all the equipment. We were lucky in this regard in two instances. First, being that our sound provider took responsibility for all of his own equipment and packed all that up himself. And secondly, because our event was at a council building, we were provided a strict shutdown procedure to follow in our endeavour to ensure that we retained our bond. So after following each of the steps and upon leaving the building and rearming the alarm, we called the security office to ensure the alarm was in fact correctly armed. Then we returned both the whiteboard and the projector the following day, and just a week ago we had confirmation that we had in fact completed an adequate shutdown of the facility as our bond was returned in full. In terms of recommendations, I would say that planning for each and every scenario is your best course of action, and always give yourself adequate time in case things come up which you couldn't predict. And in finishing and concluding your event, we were lucky that we were provided a strict shutdown procedure, but if this isn't the case for you, I would encourage developing one for yourself which you can follow on the night.
Hi, my name is Bradley Clearo. With our post-event evaluation, we worked out we had a gross profit of $933.50 from our ticket sales, canteen, guessing comp, and donations. Once we take away our $50 bonds from our 6 team members, we raised a total of $633.50. Now, we had 61 people turn up, but 65 people purchased tickets, so the 4 people who didn't come are turning into a donation. Also, pre-purchased tickets allowed that to happen. With on the door, it might have been a bit messy. The demographic of these people included young adults, middle-aged, and also retirees. Most are taken by family and friends. To add to that, our media wasn't that big. We only had a private Facebook event where we invited our friends and family in, where they found out about it. We also used word of mouth to get it up, to get people into our event. We were gracious to receive donations from the Sydney Thunder, Parramatta Eels, and Sports Online, who provided a LeBron James jersey worth $1,000. With a team, we felt we worked well. It was a positive experience. This was further backed by our surveying of asking people and also people messaging us going how much they enjoyed the event, how much smoothly it went. So overall, we can say it was a positive experience, a great outcome for both us, our guests, and also Northcott with the money we raised.